Hi guys, it's Friday again. I'm Anya. If you don't know me, I'm a Akashic reader, and I share my life channelings here with you. I've done over the week every Friday and talk about them in depth and what they mean. So today we're speaking about Lady Portia. But before we dive into that and what an ascended master truly is, I want to point out that at the end of the channeling, I will talk about how to channel in depth and how you may tap into your own channel gift. So if you're interested in that, stay through. All right. So Lady Portia, she is generally associated with as the twin flame, basically, of Saint Germain, and therefore she's also known to work with the violet flame. She is known to be a person or an energy that works with balance and compassion. She's very soft natured. She's a side of the divine feminine, like Mother Mary, for example, or Kuan Yin. However, I found that all these descriptions on the internet are not very helpful because when you channel them, they appear to you as personal as can be. This is a very intimate side, I find, because ascended masters in general, they are beings who have had lifetimes on earth, many. So they share with us this experience of this realm. And they're here now for humanity to help us in the ascension process, to guide us through all of this. And they don't want to be adored in that way, or don't want to be the gods, So they have usually a very friendly approach. Like Jesus, for example, I think I do not come from a religious background. So when I discovered Jesus is real, I was really surprised. But you can have a very personal relationship with Jesus as an ascended master. And he comes to you as friend. So he's basically the dude next door. That's how he appears to me. He's very laid back. He's very, approachable. He's not Jesus. And so you can have a relationship with him without the restrictions or the dogma of the church. And I found that to be very refreshing. And I've actually found that most of the ascended masters appeared to me in that way. So Lady Portia, she was very soft. She was very compassionate. She was really one I would associate with balance. But on the other hand, you know, it is a personal moment they share with you. And they do not appear as guides in that sense. They do not show up when I have a session with a client. Yes, every one of you has an ascended master in their team, but they do not stay with you throughout your lifetime, maybe. So you have maybe many influences or many energies of ascended master throughout your lifetimes, and they fade in and they fade out. So whatever you need now in your life, whatever learning you have at hand, probably an ascended master that fits right into that is with you. And so Lady Portia might actually be in one of your guys' teams, because this is why I sometimes channel energies like that. She's not in my team right now, I know that for sure. So she must be in one of your guys' teams. Isn't that interesting? All right, we covered what an ascended master is. Yeah, so they basically transcended life on earth. They do not have anything more to learn or gain from a life on earth. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, that's the aim, guys, right? This is where we want to head. And they're just here for all of us and help us through this. Okay, so she spoke about the quietest moments of life and how life happens in those moments. So the grand moments with the grand emotions, they are then the one that stand out, right? But she pointed out that the majority of life is those moments in between, those quieter moments. When you make breakfast, when you have your daily routines, when you meet your neighbor, when you do your things, right? So we should come to be more present in those moments. And I cannot tell it in these beautiful words, so I give to you now Lady Portia. I'm Lady Portia. And I greet you with all my love and in the light of the Creator. Thank you for inviting me into your space. Whenever I look upon humans, whenever I perceive the human condition, what I feel very strongly is that you are mostly there, that you're mostly present in your strongest emotions. When something really good happens in your life and when something really terrible happens in your life, when something really painful happens in your life, or, devastating, the ground emotions, a crisis of some point, the surprise of some kind. And I just wish to share with you today that life happens also in the quietest of moments. Life happens when you just sit outside and watch things go by, time go by. Just sit there, enjoy your beingness, enjoy your existence, and enjoy the existence around you. Enjoy being a part of the all. Being able to listen to bird songs, or being able to breathe fresh air. Being able to just listen to a child play a bit further down the road, or watching an animal look for some food. Sharing a meal with a friend. All this is life. All this is life too. All the little things, going to bed every day, getting up in the morning, having a drink, having some food, starting your day, saying hello to the same person you just said hello yesterday to. These little moments that you hardly notice in your life because they reoccur. This is also when life happens. Please remember that with more joy and more pleasure and more awareness. These are equally important moments, Simply the fact that you do have a very strong emotional response sometimes does not make this moment really stand out. You make it stand out because of these emotions. When you receive news, either good or bad, most often it does not change anything in your immediate situation. You still stand upright, you still breathe, you still without any pain in your body. The weather stays the same. And you will probably go on with your day in exactly the same manner had you not received these news. However, sometimes you have such a strong emotional response to this. You get angry or upset or joyful, that these moments stand out for you so much. But please realize these are equally important moments than those when nothing happens.
seemingly nothing because there is happening so much at all times. It is just that your brain is conditioned to sometimes choose to give importance to something and choose to give no importance to another thing. But please also be aware that it can be retrained, that giving a bird, for example, giving it importance, feeding the birds each morning, for example, giving this importance can add so much joy to your life. And maybe deciding to not give importance to something that upsets you on a regular basis brings great joy to your life in the end too. Or at the very least, brings no strong negative emotion to you, which makes your day all the more pleasant, all the more joyful. I know there is great confusion sometimes whether it is really an aim to stay in high vibrations all the time, and does this mean to not look at those lower vibrations? Does this mean to oversee poverty and bad news, Does this mean to look away from these things, to not share these things in the collective, to not give compassion? How could I give compassion if I don't know about this? And there's different opinion even amongst us. You will find very different approaches to these things. And isn't that beautiful? So I'm not here to tell you to not give your compassion, and I'm not here to tell you to not give your attention to anything that comes to your mind, enters your life, basically. And this is also free will in my thinking, that you decide whether you want to make this a special moment in your day and really respond with much energy here. And either, raise your vibration or enter lower vibrations. And lower vibrations by no means are any worthless in that sense. They're not worthless in any sense. But sometimes you dwell for a longer period of time in these vibrations that are not really your core vibrations. And yes, it is more profitable for Earth in the long run if humans stay in higher vibrational energies, because then Earth can stay in a higher vibrational energy and the collective will rise. So yes, on many levels, it is good to look for those higher vibrational energies. But if you feel you need to give these things attention, then please, by all means, do it. There is a life's plan in your blueprint that only you know about and that only you can feel. No one else around you will receive the same guidance than you. And no one else around you can follow this voice inside yourself, because no one can perceive it. You all have your own inner voice, you all have your own inner blueprint, and you all have your own inner plan that you follow accordingly. But I wish to give importance to all the moments in between in your day when nothing much happens seemingly, and life goes by beautifully, and life goes by and gives so much. And I want you to be receptive to this. I want you to be receptive to the quietness, to the quiet joy this brings, the respite you can find here. Yeah, this is what I want you to be aware of today. And please, I know that many of you do not connect when you feel not up to it, in the meaning that you think you can only connect to higher energies when you're feeling high, when you're feeling happy, uplifted, in a good mood, basically. And no, dearest ones, please know that especially when you feel low, especially when you're not up here, please do connect to us, especially then. Seek solace, seek compassion and love and understanding, also in your friends on this other side. We are always here and we are always listening. We are always with you. And please do not feel that you have to hide anything from us. Please do not be ashamed. Please listen to this when I say, we love you. We love you with everything we have. You are not different than us. You're made of the same love. And we cannot but love you. We cannot but see all of you. All of you. All that you've been made up of. All that you carry. All your dreams and things. We love you so much. This is my wish for today, that you'll receive this with your open heart and that you connect whenever you feel like it, whenever you need a hug or an uplifting word or simply guidance, a different outlook maybe on your day. Please connect to me anytime. Connect to all of your ascended masters, all of your friends on the other side, all the people you have known who have entered different realms, and all those you love so much. You're never alone. We are with you, always connected, especially in those quieter moments. We are always there. So she's depicted as a very compassionate energy. I will have to look her up, and please do so, because whatever you will find when you look her up, that is specifically a message for you sometimes, and it can really help connect to her. And what I want to just, give you some general advice, maybe. I always urge you to connect more on your own. I always urge you to really get into this and try channeling yourself, no matter what it may look like, automatic writing, having a dream diary even. So, very, very easy things, basically, that don't require any knowledge or any ability. If you think you might need that, you don't. You all have this connection. She's just said that we are all made of the same stuff, and therefore we all speak the same language, basically. And however much you think, how I don't get anything, whenever I try to connect, I don't get anything. It's not true. You do get something. You just doubt yourself a lot. Your ego mind is in the way a lot. And it is very, very hard, or it's probably not helpful to give a specific advice. You will find advice on the internet, and then there are books on how to channel. And I've found them not to be helpful, to be honest, because I do believe that every one of us has their very own approach to channeling, or to opening their senses to this guidance or to these energies. So if you want to call them clairs, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, you will receive information maybe through emotions, maybe through images, maybe through sudden knowing, maybe through smells even. Some people smell spirit. And there is no right or wrong or better or less interesting way to do it. You need to come up with a good way that works for you, that you feel comfortable with and confident with. And whether you share your transcriptions or your messages or not, it's completely up to you. Some people receive messages that are for a greater audience, and some people just receive messages on their own personal lives. And that's fine. But it will really help you feel less alone, or just it will give you a greater sense of confidence, maybe, and trust in life. And I think it is important to really be able to listen and connect with those energies more. It's something we haven't learned in school. No one in kindergarten has probably told you, don't, this is spirit. Just be open and receptive to what they say. We have not been trained in that sense. And therefore, we have to find a way to teach ourselves. So whatever works for you. I think a general rule is to just empty your mind completely. And how you do it is also not very easy to give advice to, because everyone does it differently. Some people, they try channeling first thing in the morning when they're not yet there, when they're not really fully awake, when their brain waves are still not in alpha generally. And they enter the state then very easily. And other beings, or other people, I'm sorry, they meditate a lot before they do this. They try to empty their mind by thinking about maybe nothing, or a black hole, or a white light. So whatever works for you, have you go at it and find out who you are and what your approach is. But I can guarantee you will find an approach, and you will find a way to receive things. Just be very open and approach this playfully, in a manner a child would. Okay, let's play. We're channeling right now. Okay, and let's see how this works. And be creative in that sense, that you allow yourself to allow yourself first to be a channel and to do this. And there will be a moment when you absolutely feel another presence, or I have received something that was not in my mind before. I could not know this. I definitely could not. This is the best advice I can give you. But I think it was a wonderful message, in the sense that we are A, not alone ever. B, we are allowed to connect, especially when we do not feel up to it. And C, that we are not need to be ashamed of anything. And also, life does happen in the quieter moments. And it's not always the big things that make up our lives. It's just those things that we remember mostly, because our brain is flight and fight response. And it has been trained to really respond to these higher emotions with either anger or fear or, joy. And therefore they stand out so much. But when we can approach life on a more balanced level, then we appreciate all of it much more, and we are able to enjoy all of it much more. So please report back to me. How did you receive the channeling? Are you doing channelings for yourself, or have you ever tried it before? So I want to know. And please do not hesitate to reach out if you need advice or support or whatever. I'm here to help you. Okay, much love, you lovelies. Send you all my love too. Bye.